So then I turned 13. And I got to see my first scary movie in a theater. It was Scream. I became a woman that day. I did. Sometimes the killer underneath the mask is hideous and disgusting, and sometimes it's Skeet Ulrich. Now, I don't know what kind of a name Skeet is. But I'm pretty sure when I saw how hot he is, that's what I did. Just the whole back row. And I convinced my dad to take me to see it 6 times. 6 times. He had no idea it was my own personal Debbie Does Dallas. But the first movie ever to truly mesmerize me was Halloween. The original Halloween. I'm a Michael Myers girl. That is my guy. The thing about Michael Myers is he's been killing people for decades. And he's still power walking like a motherfucker. Apparently, evil never dies or gets arthritis. Then there's the holiday Halloween, which is my all-time favorite. I love it. Makes me feel like a kid. I buy all the merchandise. Particularly, I love all of the fall candles. It's my favorite. See, I'm doing this thing now where I'm trying not to eat sugar. So I buy candles that smell like the things I can't eat. Like blueberry maple pancakes, pumpkin pecan waffles, pussy. I want to. I do. I just... You buy a lot of candles, don't you? Fantastic. I took my mom to her very first drag show on Halloween one year. And it was an incredible night. So we go, and I knew all the girls. I knew all the queens. So we show up, and the queen hosting liked to do this thing where she would invite new audience members up to the stage and ask them, dick or clit? Meaning, what do you like? So she gets my mom up, she gets to my mom, and my mom, without missing a beat, yells, clit! The whole room goes crazy. They're like, whoa, whoa, Sam, your mom's a lesbian? That's so cool. I had no idea. My mom figures it out, and she turns into this demon. She just starts yelling, dick! I like dick! Dick! Oh my God, Mom, who are you, the Babadook? I love all the new Halloween movies. I love Halloween Kills, Halloween Ends. I'm super here for it. But some of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remakes, maybe not so much. I don't know. That last one, it was so bad, I'd rather watch Keanu Reeves attempt that British accent, Bram Stoker's Dracula. It was uncomfortable. I think I'd be more comfortable watching Basic Instinct with my father. Can I get real with you guys for a second? Can we have a moment? Okay. So when I turned 22, my dad, who I love more than anything, had a heart attack. And he passed away. And I was lost. So lost. But the last time I saw him was in the funeral home. And I remember I walk in, the guy comes up to me, I'm so sorry for your loss. Would you like to talk to your dad one more time? And I said, okay. So they roll him out of cold storage, and they plop him in front of me, and I look at him. I'm so emotional. I am distraught. His hair is disheveled. His skin is ice blue. And the only thing that I actually remember saying to him was, Dad, you look like Jack Nicholson from The Shining.
Welcome to Horror Nerd, the podcast.
Holy crap, we're back. We said we'll be right back, and we actually were right back.
We were right back. It's because we're final girls. That's
right.
how that works. That's the
right.
rules.
That's right.
That's the rules.
I'll be Laurie Strode, and you'll be. I would say Helen Shivers, but that didn't work out.
I mean, Buffy's kind of a final girl. She died a couple times and kept coming back.
Yeah, I think that's appropriate.
Yeah. Also, okay, I'll let you be Laurie Strode. I love you enough to forfeit that one.
Thank you. It's so nice.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. I'm very kind. What can I say?
Well, I just want to say that I am on a stupid VHS kick right now where I think, you know how like some people stress eat? I stress VHS. It rhymes. Put it on a bumper sticker. I stress VHS. So I've been going to, you know, all the like little hole in the wall kind of stores where you can find old school VHS. And there it's cool now for some reason. Nostalgia is really picking up, and the 90s are back in the world of horror at least. And so it's really hard to find these really cool old school horror tapes. But I am like a devout flea market lady now. I'm that person. So I went to the Rose Bowl in Pasadena yesterday, and I made out like a horror bandit. I found 2 different versions of Halloween. I found The Howling. I found Amityville 2, The Possession. I found The Blair Witch. I found Pet Sematary 1 and 2. And this very nice man who I talked to, his name's Andy, who I saw last month. I almost bought the book, like a book copy of Pet Sematary, like OG, the first print. And literally, when you opened it, there was a newspaper clipping from the film, like when it came out. And I'd already bought so much, so I'm like, Samantha, put it down. You don't need another Stephen King book. You just got Carrie. You put it down. And I lamented for an entire month. And I was like, I'm an idiot. I should have gone back. And I went back and I was like, hey, how's it going? Yeah, cool. So listen, I'm still mad at myself for not buying that Pet Sematary first issue. And he's like, you know what? I think it's in a bin somewhere. I said, the fuck? Well, you're going to want to pull that out of the bin and put it into my bag because I'm going to buy that from you. And sure enough, it was still there and it has a little insert. And so anyway, but we watched, we actually plugged in the VHS player, the VCR that I found at a Goodwill. Thank you. I'm a crazy person. And we actually hooked it up last night and we put on Halloween and it was so cool. And also, I'm like, I'm sorry, Isaac boyfriend, but the fuck, you've never seen Halloween all the way through? How am I was like, well, what do you mean you don't know what happened next? What do you mean you need to pause it? Because you're going to be right back and you need to pause it. Don't you already? I know. It was insane. But it was fun to watch him watching it. But it was really, really cool to watch the VHS of Halloween because it has that old school, it's not, 4K. It's not brand new. It looks like the 90s. It makes you think of when you first saw it when you were a kid. But we have a decent like sound bar in the living room, so it looked all vintage, but it sounded really good, and that was a cool ass experience. 10 out of 10. Highly recommend, nerds. Do it.
Do it, nerds. I need to get a sound bar. But the first time I saw on Halloween was on a VHS tape, and so you're making me so nostalgic right now. And I wonder if that was my VHS copy of Blair Witch that you picked up. I wonder if it was.
Oh, you never know. I mean, there are so many things that I bought that I'm like, I feel like this is my old Disney VHS that I probably donated at some point thinking I'll never use this again. But there's something so magical about watching the previews on a VHS tape before our feature presentation. And it has coupons in there, like straight up from like 1997. Like, would you like to send $5 to get the next Disney movie, soon to be released, Snow White?
We didn't know how good we had it.
No, we did not.
That's wild. Like the clamshell cases for the Disney movies and the VHS tapes with the penis on the Little Mermaid cover.
Oh, we know.
We know.
Yeah.
Oh, I know if anybody knows, you do.
Yeah, of course. Disney penis, me, of course.
Of course.
Of course. I did actually, every now and then I break down and I'm like, you know what? If there's something I can't find at a flea market or like a vintage shop, I'll just say, oh, okay, eBay, you win this one. So I did actually just buy Beetlejuice, the clamshell of Beetlejuice. And I'm really excited for that one. Yeah.
Oh my God. You're getting me right in the feels.
I mean, I totally cheated. Like it's the thrill of the hunt. It's the treasure hunt of going out to the markets and the stores to find these tapes. But sometimes you're like, I need Beetlejuice and I need it right now. So I'm going to cheat. And that's what I did.
Yeah.
I cheated.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think, listen, the tools are there for you to use, and you're being resourceful. And think about how much you're going to save on gas by just buying it online when you cannot find it in person.
True.
And you don't have a full day to go all over LA because you only go like 20 miles, right? Maybe in a full day, maybe. So
Yeah.
I think you did the smart thing.
And now a word from our sponsors.
Miss Van Tassel, might I ask, what is that fragrance? It's otherworldly.
It's the Horseman's Curse collection from the Magic Oil Box. I'm wearing rose, ylang ylang, and sandalwood for intuition and protection beneath the veil. Let's call it Katrina's Charm.
Clever.
There's also a Hollowoods room spray with a scent of rain and earth to keep you grounded when spirits stir.
What is this Hessian's Fury? A hand sanitizer forged in fire for courage. Should you ever meet the horseman himself? I should certainly hope not.
Visit themagicoilbox.com and use code SlayNerds15 to save on your order before it's too late.
I feel like November, I'm sure you can agree, November sometimes is kind of like a little bit of a come down from
Yeah.
spooky season, right? Because October is our time to shine. And October, it's always been my favorite month of the entire year since I was born. I am an October baby. So, and there's Halloween. But it's also kind of crazy when you work in a horror themed field. So it's like, it's exciting and it's wonderful, but you're also just stressed the F out and exhausted. And so November is kind of like, okay, how do I decompress now? And
Yeah.
yeah, it's like, okay, now I'm just going to enjoy watching these films instead of I got to write a joke about it and I got to prepare and I need a costume and I need to fill the room and I need to promote and blah, 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 blah.
That's something that I really like about you is, well, a lot of things, but the fact that it's true, but the fact that you're very realistic about how much goes into a creative career. And you and I have talked about that. That might have been one of the first things we talked about in the back of Danny's car.
Probably,
was like how
yeah.
much work goes into
Yeah.
a creative profession. Like
Yeah.
it's not just you going up behind the mic, not prepared most of the time, I would assume, right? Like you have a whole thing prepared.
Yeah. Yeah. When I first started doing stand up, I was super, super nervous and I was green and I didn't trust myself as much. So I would over prepare my set. But now I've been doing it for well over 15 years. I trust myself enough to know that, okay, I think I'm going to talk about A, B, and C tonight. And the one joke that I'm like, I'm just going to do this one joke. That's always the one I forget, of course. But it depends on what you're doing. Like, big, huge moment of October for me is always the Brea Improv, which is, I mean, I love all of the different improvs. I love all of the shows, but there's something so special and magical about this particular place. The staff is amazing. The venue itself is beautiful. And I think that there are some legit horror fans who have found us there. We've done it the last 3 years in a row. And I think word kind of got out like, oh, hey, this girl that runs, she's a legit horror fan. She actually knows what she's talking about. And I looked out and it's one of those audiences where you look at and they're all in their different horror shirts. I mean, one girl was in an Ed Gein shirt. I was like, dang, she's legit,
Wow.
right? Yeah. So they knew all of my references. And that was really exciting. So for that, because I was headlining that show, that one I really had to prepare for because I did almost an hour. I can't half-ass an hour. I do want to structure that and shape it and make sure that I'm not repeating myself, that there's a flow, that there's an arc to it, and there's callbacks, of course. But if I'm, doing a 10-minute set, then maybe I won't. I'll just be like, I'm just going to have some fun. I know generally where I'm going, but sometimes the audience throws me a curveball and I run with it. Another really huge gig that I'm really excited actually to give a shout out to the LA Conservancy because they did a double horror screening this year. It was their first time doing a horror screening where they did Young Frankenstein for a 2 p.m. matinee and Carrie for an 8 p.m. And I had the pleasure of introducing both of them. And that's a really big deal. I'm not a regular comic, to be fair. I do my own thing. But this is not a comedy club. They were there as members of the LA Conservancy, which they love the history of Los Angeles, the landmarks, stories, history. And so I had to blend my connection to Los Angeles and my connection with horror and blend that together. And also I have to reference Young Frankenstein and Carrie. So I had to run a couple new bits and test them to make sure that they worked because I wanted to honor both movies, but also I had to work clean because you don't want to go in like, guns blazing to a really sophisticated, beautiful theater. This place called the $1 Million Theater in downtown Los Angeles, 2,000 seats, like the beautiful red velvet. Sid Grauman designed it. And
Wow,
so it
I
has
didn't
that
know
like
that.
Egyptian beautiful architecture and statues and carvings. It's stunning. This is probably one of the most beautiful theaters that I've ever been. And I spent the whole day in it just running around. And it was really magical. I worked really hard on that because all gigs are important to me, of course. But this one, I'm like, I have a point to make. I want to show up. I want to do my job. I want to come back. And it was all worth it. It all paid off. And they were all so nice and supportive. And they got what I did. And they saw how hard I was working. And it was really exciting. Those were two really big moments of October for me. For sure. But, like we spent the whole month just promoting the hell out of the special, which we will continue to do. It's kind of an ongoing, like, hi, here's this thing that I did that I'm still talking about for the rest of my life. Thank you so much. So October.
Till the next one.
Till the next one, right? But I did get the pleasure of being on lots of different horror podcasts. Got to do a radio kind of press tour at 6 a.m. on Halloween. Which was bananas. I was like, oh, you want me to be funny at 6 a.m.? I got this. I can do it. And of course, the very first interview, this guy, very sweet, but I don't know if he was like a huge horror fan per se. And he's like, yeah, we had Michael Myers on the show. And I'm like, oh, you had Nick Castle? No. Who's Nick Castle? Like, he had no idea. And because I was so tired, my brain wasn't like, oh, hey, girl, there was more than one stuntman that played Michael in the first. I was too tired for my brain, and I was like, I don't know how to. Dang it, I sound like a dum-dum right now because I don't know what he's talking about. And then it dawned on me, oh my god, he meant Tony Moran. Ah.
Oh, I just would have guessed that he thought Mike Myers, but okay.
I was like, the Love Guru
At 6 a.m.
Yeah, the Love Guru
At 6 a.m. Austin Powers?
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, my pumpkin spice coffee was not working yet. But it was really cool. So did that, and then I kind of warmed up, and it was like almost a couple of hours of just talking to different radio stations across the country. And it's really interesting. You can tell who is actually really familiar with your work and who hasn't seen it yet, or who loves horror films and who is just like, I don't know, you sounded cool. And I'm grateful for either opportunity. Of course, it's kind of fun talking to both people. But like there was one interview and I kept saying like, totally. I kept like doing the PJ Souls thing because we were talking about Halloween and just right over the guy's head. I'm like, okay. And then when that interview was over, the guy who was like patching me through to all the stations was like, I got it. And I thought that was awesome. Totally. I'm like, thank you.
To be understood. Cool. And look at you being able to adapt to the different personalities that you were encountering in those interviews. And it's just like what you were talking about earlier, when you take your material and you have this wide variety of things to pull from and experiences and movies and things that you're passionate about and history of LA and growing up out here. You have this whole smorgasbord of things to pull from, and you're able to adapt that to the different venues. Like what you do at the Improv on Horror Nerd the night there isn't going to be the same thing as the $1 Million Theater. And that's just such a testament to your professionalism. And you can tell by your branding and how much you love this, that you're not just doing this because it's trendy right now or it's in. You're doing this because you love it and you're good at it. And it's just really cool to see.
Aww,
Anytime.
I'll Venmo you later. Thanks.
Checks in the mail.
Checks in the mail. So what were some of your October highlights, B?
Getting to hear my voice at Spirit Halloween for the first time.
In the subway.
In the subway.
Yeah.
The subway display at Spirit Halloween. And one of my friends actually sent it to me. He messaged me and was like, I'm at Spirit Halloween right now. They're tearing down the display. And I asked them, like, I said, wait, don't tear it down. That's my friend does a voice on it. And they just said, do you want it? So he shipped it to me. It's still in the box. I haven't opened it yet.
No way. Oh my gosh. We need a full photo shoot with that.
Oh, 100%. But it was just so cool. And I recorded that a while ago, but it takes time, and just getting to walk into a Spirit Halloween, which is, the mothership essentially, and getting to hear my voice in the display was just super cool. And I got to do the voice at another haunt in Glendale, the Opeachy haunt. which was really cool. It was this
Ooh.
interactive yard display, and I played a ghost in there that was on the afterlife with one of my other friends. So we worked together a lot in different projects, and I was like, wow, we are really stuck with each other till the grave, aren't we?
Oh, fun. Can you give me a little taste of what either of those voices sounded like?
Like the one at Spirit Halloween.
Yeah.
She basically, I'm like trying to think of how much I can say about it. She was basically Annie Potts in Ghostbusters.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Ghostbusters.
Yeah, it's like customer service department. And then the other
Ooh.
ghost was like, she was welcoming all the people at the party and was like, hello, welcome to the party. I see you're here. Like, she's very like, oh, like really fun.
I would go to that party if I heard that voice welcoming me in.
It was really cool to just hear my voice floating in this brilliantly set up outdoor display that was so creative, and it was free to go and you could interact with things, and it was really cool. It was one of those months. I don't think I've ever had such a busy month as a voice actor where I got to hear my voice in different things. I couldn't go to your show at the $1 Million Theater because I was in San Jose at the Winchester Mystery House, and I got to hear my voice there, and I got to play Sarah Winchester, who I think is
The lead
highly
role.
misunderstood.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
she's like the head bee up there, and it's really interesting because I think throughout history people have always thought that she was crazy, and they've always said not so nice things about her. But she was, if you think about the constant construction on that house, whether it was ghosts or whether it was because of the earthquake up there, she was employing a lot of people for a
Yeah.
long time. Like
Yeah.
she basically built that town, which is kind of insane. But that was a really, really cool experience getting to play her and another character for their haunt and getting to be there. And I cried when I was there. And I was not totally sober, but it was just tears of gratitude.
Yeah, but alcohol brings out like kind of the truth of how you're feeling quite often. So you must have already felt this overwhelming excitement and like, oh my, holy shit, I did that. That's me.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, that's the coolest feeling in the world. I even feel that way like when I look at my own special, I'm like, who's that? That ain't me. And then every now and then I'm like, oh, no, I did that. If I were actually at the Winchester house and I had a cocktail and I heard my voice, I would lose my shit too. Like in a good way. Sometimes we have to pat ourselves on the back, and artists, women, we're not always as kind to ourselves as we should be. I think because we're such like overthinking, empathetic people, perfectionist people, and that's kind of the
Yeah.
way, like that's the sign of a good comic, at least. I don't know if it's similar in the voiceover world, but I know that a comic is a good comic when they get off stage and you're like, hey, how do you think you did? Well, I think I did all right, but God, there's this one joke that I just can't get to work. That's your artist right there. Like
Yep.
you can crush 10 minutes, but you do that 1 minute joke and it doesn't work, and that's all you can think about. The self-tortured artist, there is a little bit of truth to that, unfortunately.
Oh, yeah. Oh, 100%. And I've been in recording sessions, where I'll get out of it and I'll go, oh my gosh, I could have done that line better. Oh
Yeah.
no, I'm already in the car and I'm stuck in traffic going home. I could have done that line better. It's always like that. And we're so hard on ourselves because I think it plays into a bigger picture of the fact that there are always double standards with women.
Yeah.
We can't just be good. We have to be great. We can't be mediocre necessarily. Like, especially you and I, we are in typically male dominated professions, and horror is still a male dominated industry. So is the comic book world. Anytime I share an opinion about Batman on the internet, there are so many men that are quick to tell me
Whoa.
that I am wrong or I am
How
stupid or
dare
whatever.
you? And if we're too good at it, then we're bitches. I'm like,
We're
oh, okay.
bitches.
Yeah.
Or, no, you don't like that stuff. What man brought you to this? You couldn't possibly like this on your own, which is stupid. We're so hard on ourselves because there's that double standard. And especially when you're an artist and we're always reaching for that next level and that next level and that next level. It's never about getting to the place where you're done, because there's always another place to grow. You're supposed to keep growing and keep evolving. And I think artistry is that same way, but we get so caught up in, once I hit this milestone, then I'll be happy, then I'll be done. And we're never happy. We
That's
want to keep
never the
going and
case.
growing. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're never done. You never get to the point where you're like, oh, I know everything. Oh, I mean, that's life in general, you know? But specifically as an artist, I mean, I look back at my jokes and I'm like, damn it, I have such a better tag for that now. Oh my gosh, I fixed that joke. It's so much better. I can't believe, yeah, that's just, but when it comes to like women, especially when it comes to horror, I've been super grateful. I've been doing lots of really cool podcasts and interviews to promote the special. And I've actually only had one female host interview me. And she was fantastic. She was like, I'm so happy to see a girl. I'm like, I'm so happy to see a girl. But I will say that all of the guys that I've gotten to speak to have been really great. And they, probably because they're horror fans, they know that we women, we're just as into this as they are. And they're very inclusive and they're very welcoming. And they're very like, oh my gosh, the world needs to know that you guys are just as weird as we are. Come on. If not more so, honestly.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I
Good.
don't know if it's like.
They better be.
Yeah. I don't know if it's people like outside of the horror community who think that women aren't as into it, but people in the community, we all know we're all into this stuff together. You know, it doesn't matter however you identify, people love horror. Whatever your background is, whoever you fucking love, who cares? We love to see a good horror film, period.
Yeah.
So that's been a really cool experience though.
Yeah. And I think you're 100% right about that. And even though it's still highly male dominated, horror has always been more accepting of all the weirdos because it's always been the outcast kid. Like horror movies aren't usually getting nominated for Oscars and for all the big awards, right? It's always
Justice for Demi Moore. Justice. Sorry, I got distracted.
And for Sinners, my God.
Oh God, every single actor in that film was perfect.
So good. For both Michael B. Jordans, damn it.
And Michael B. Jordan. Right?
Just so good. But horror has always been that, I don't want to say the redheaded stepchild of the film industry, but it's always not taken seriously, you know? I like to make that joke because I was in a production of Cinderella. I've been in a few productions of Cinderella. I've never been Cinderella. I've always been a stepsister. But I know. It's fine. I'm clearly over it. But I had red hair the second time I did it, and so did the other stepsister. So I was like, we're redheaded stepchildren right now.
Redheaded stepchildren. Oh, bless.
It's so stupid. It makes me laugh. But horror has always been that one that's on the outside. And I think as comic books and sci-fi didn't used to be as mainstream, and now that it is, I think people are more accepting of it, but there's still a big defensiveness in it of, oh, you don't like this stuff because it must have been because of your boyfriend or because of your this. Like there's still a lot of that, which I don't understand. And I know so many people are probably feeling like, you know, I got made fun of and I have to gatekeep this and I have to hold on to it. And there's no way that you could like this, which is so stupid to me because I was raised by somebody that raised me on horror and comic books and would always tell me, you know, this is Storm, this is Rogue. She's pretty and she can kick butt and she has cooler powers than the boys. There was no the men in comic books are better, for crying out loud. So I don't know why people are like that, but I'm really happy to see how horror really embraces a lot of that. And women in horror, it's only growing. You know, you having a presence in this industry, our podcast having a presence in the industry, it's a big deal. And to see women, how they're being written in horror films is evolving too. It's fascinating to look at and to just see where the history of that is gone and where it's going to continue to go. And there's going to be more women interviewing you for these things. And like the fact that we just had that episode with Heather Turman, that was all girl powered episode, which was great, you know, just so it's so cool and so refreshing. And it's another reason why I love doing this with you. You know, we're smashing ceilings and breaking faces when we do this. It's great.
Breaking faces.
Breaking faces. Not to be confused with living spaces.
Living spaces. I don't know why I sang it like that. I guess because I heard living spaces.
That's the commercial.
Yeah. I think that's what happened. Yeah.
Breaking faces.
Breaking faces. But I feel like that'd be a cool punk band name, you know?
It would be. Like Smashing Pumpkins, Breaking Faces. It's a tribute band.
Yeah, I think that works.
You might have tried 100 platforms, each with hidden costs, plugins, multiple logins. But now there's Beamly. Drag and drop website, podcast hosting, online courses, memberships, digital products, and 0% platform fees. All your tools in one crypt. Place. Head to Beamly.com and raise your creator studio from the dead. In the best way.
Oh, and also thank you, Spirit Halloween, for putting everything half off the day after Halloween, because I did pick up the Megan doll. I was like, I'll take her for half off. She'll be
Yeah.
on stage at the mortuary this month for sure. And
Beautiful.
actually at the Improv as well, because this month we're doing the Children of the Corn edition, which means that all the comics are going to be writing material about corny horror films, because why not? Or any horror films. Wait, see what I did there? Corny, campy. Or anything, with kids in it, whether the kid is the protagonist or the antagonist. I don't care. If there's a cool kid in it, let's talk about this kid.
Yeah.
So Megan goes totally in that, because Katie, she was designed, she was basically like tested with Katie, the poor kid who lost her parents in Megan. So that works. That counts. She'll be on stage for that.
Yeah. I think she's our generation's Chucky.
She is.
To an extent.
To an extent, it's more of like a AI robot vibe versus voodoo serial killer, but it's still a doll that's trying to go after kids. So, yes.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, AI is kind of like a serial killer right now. So, maybe there's something to, I don't know, serial killing the environment. I don't know.
Killing a lot of jobs for artists. Yeah.
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 Fun. That's my fear, is when a client comes back and they're like, actually, we're just going to use a shitty AI voice for this. Sorry. I'm like, well, everybody's going to hate it. Have fun. I'll be here when,
When you realize you messed up.
Yep. When you realize you messed up and now you're going to have to spend more money to fix what you could have just done in the first place. Have fun. I'll be here.
The hard way.
Yep. Gotta let them learn. You got to let them learn sometimes.
Come play with us, horror nerds, forever and ever
And ever. And ever.
and ever.
And ever. Come listen to us, horror nerds. Forever.
And ever.
And ever.
We'll be right back, because
We'll
we
be
live
right
here.
back.
Because we can't leave, because we're dead. Okay.
I broke character first.
This is not a test. This is your emergency broadcast system, announcing the conclusion of the Horror Nerds Comedy Podcast, sanctioned by Horror Nerds Productions. All authorized screams, laughter, and unhinged opinions of Class 4 have now been safely contained. During this broadcast, all tangents, puns, and unsolicited horror takes were permitted without consequence. Emergency podcast services will resume after this brief transmission. Blessed be our final girls and our Horror Nerds founders, a podcast reborn. May humor be with you all.